haven't done it very well, but supposing you've caught a piece of your fabric and you've got a bit of a kink in the fabric when you've overlocked, how do you resolve it? Or supposing you've joined the wrong sleeve to the, supposing you've joined the left sleeve to the right bodice, and you've suddenly realised that you need to unpick your serger stitching or your overlocker stitching. Well, the way to do it is you have 4 threads on your overlocker. I use different colours for mine because A, I think it looks quite nice, and B, sometimes it makes life easier for me. I tend to use rainbow threads quite often so that I don't have to keep changing my threads. But if you look at this here, I'll get my little tweezers. On the back is white thread, then here we've got black thread, and then we've got pink thread and yellow thread. So working from right to left, the white thread is your lower looper, the black thread is your upper looper, the pink thread is your right needle, the yellow thread is your left needle. So when you want to unpick, you basically don't touch any of these, the upper and lower looper. You go for these little straight stitching ones, the needle ones, and you lift up your left thread first. Now I tend to do that, and then I snip it like that. Then you lift your pink one up, but don't lift your black thread, don't lift any of your looper threads. Snip that, and then rather than doing the full stretch, do a short stretch, say about 3 or 4 inches to make life easier for yourself. Pick up another yellow loop like that, cut that, pick up a pink loop like that, and cut that. Now then, I have a cut piece here and I've got a cut piece there. My favourite tool for this is a pair of pliers. I've lost one bit of the handle on the pliers, but that doesn't make any difference. And what I do is I get a hold of the yellow thread first, just the yellow thread. You could try both, but let's do just the yellow. And you pick up the yellow thread and you pull it. Pull it as if you were gathering it. Now the reason why I do short bits is it's easier to pull when you've got a short bit like this rather than a long one. And I'm just pulling till it eventually all comes out, and you ease it along. Oh, snapped, so let's get to the next bit there. Get a hold of that, ease it along, and it comes out. Then I'm going to do the same with the purple thread. So I'm going to pull that up a bit there so I can get a hold of it with my pliers. Only the purple thread, the pink thread, and I pull it. This is a lot easier to come out. There you go. And that leaves me with this black and the white thread, which should come away like that. I'll do the next bit. So now I've got a cut piece here of the yellow and the pink. I can pick that up like that, pull that. Do the same with the pink, like that, pull that, and that should come off. So that is showing you how to unpick your serger thread. This piece of fabric shows the yellow, which is the needle left, the blue, the needle right, the pink is the upper looper, and on the other side is the black, which is the lower looper. Working from right to left, because you always thread it from the lower looper. That's your first thread that you thread. The pink is your second thread, the blue is your needle thread, and the yellow is your left needle thread. Supposing I've made a mistake and I want to remove this, what I have to do is I have to cut the yellow thread and the blue thread. So let's just do that. Cut the yellow thread. So I get my little pair of scissors underneath the yellow thread, and then I get it underneath the blue thread, the yellow and the blue. And then just as an example, I'll cut it further along, yellow and blue. Now then with your tweezers, you need to pull some thread out, and then I use my trusty pliers, grab a hold of that and pull, keep pulling, and that comes out. And then you do the same with the blue thread that you've cut. Catch a bit of blue, sorry, I'll turn it that way, pull a bit of the blue thread out. Now I've got a little piece there, you can just see it. I'll get my pliers, I can get a hold of it there and pull, and look at that, I've now got this coming away. I had cut this before, so I'll cut this here again, and I'll pull that one, and there you go, that's your serger stitching coming away. The 4 cones I use, I often do this, is I use 4 different colours, and that helps me identify which is the stitch that's not working properly. I also cover them with these little nets because it just makes the pulling of the thread a lot easier, and your cone isn't dancing around like that. The white is the lower looper, the black is the upper looper, the pink is the right needle, and the yellowy mustard is the left needle. So what I know then is when this is coming out, I know that yellowy mustard is the left needle, the pink is the right needle, and I know that when I go down to threading, I know the right is the pink and the left is the yellow. That makes life so much easier. I also use rainbow thread, which I find is quite nice, and it kind of beautifies the inside of your garment. And you can get different colours. I often do 4 different, instead of having them all the same colour rainbow, I may have a greeny rainbow on this one, a pink rainbow on that one, or blue rainbow on that one, and a purple rainbow. So I'll show you what the rainbow overlocking thread looks like. These are the rainbow threads that I use, and this is greeny. It's not coming through the same colour. That's greeny, that's orange and blue. This is red, orange and purple, and this is an orange and green predominantly. And when I do that and I set it up, it helps me identify which cone is with which part of the overlocker. Oh, I've got a cat that's deciding she's going to play with it, aren't you? Are you pinching my thread? Yes. You're pinching it? Yeah. I've just rethreaded this with the needles, the 2 needle threads, putting 2 needles in. Always put your foot down and then let your thread go for a while, because that gets all the threads tied together. My serger sits on top of this tray, which I forget who I bought it from, but I'll see if I can find a link. And the tray has this drop-in sleeve that goes on there, and the bag that was on it, I'd completely forgotten about it. I bought this about 30 odd years ago, and when I found it in the cupboard under the stairs, I suddenly realised, oh, that's a good idea. It's for my serger to catch the threads off here, because this is a second-hand serger that I bought on eBay. And it's, for some reason, the lady who sold it to me didn't have the actual catch-all thing there, the catch-all pocket there. So this, I pulled this out from under the stairs. It was missing its bag. So what I'm using is this, the pattern bag that I use for putting patterns into, and it just lifts out like that. The actual thing, I've got it stuck onto it, it lifts out, and then that's how I use it. Now you will have noticed that it is very dirty. So how do I clean my serger? Well, I use one of these. I have one of these connected that I connect to the end of my hoover, and this has lots of little straws in it. It's kind of lots of straws, and it sucks up every little corner of dust. What it also does is I can remove all of them. I could take each one out like that, till I've only got one left, and that will go into all the little corners, the little holes. So let me show you how it works. And these 4 tools are the most important tools. No, I tell a lie, there are 5. Although I don't use that one very much. I have this just hanging on a little hook on the side of my serger. But the ones that I use the most, this one which came with the serger, very, very handy for threading the serger. This one, very handy for snipping. This one for unpicking, along with that one and that one, and this one for changing the needle. And this is a little tool that I bought from the range. It's by Amtech, but there are plenty others, and it's got a little magnetic piece on it. I've already shown you this one before. It's got a magnetic piece. This is a flat-sided screwdriver, but inside here are several others, and there's a little Phillips one, a bigger Phillips one, a star-shaped one, your flat one which I use to change the needles on the serger, and a little tiny little screwdriver one, another bigger star one, and another Phillips one. So there's actually 3 Phillips, 2 stars, and 2 flat ones. And I found them really, no, 3 flat ones, because there's the 3rd flat one. So it's a handy little tool to have by your sewing machine. I never cease to find a use to use it for, to change the needles and whatever. So well worth having. I'll put the link down below to let you see where you can get this from. I don't think it cost very much. It was only probably at the most about £5 to £7, and I find that incredibly handy to use. And I almost missed out number 6, which is the hoover attachment. So that is 6 tools that I use for my serger: cleaning, cutting, changing needles, fitting the thread, threading the needles, that, and that, unpicking serger thread. Catch you next time. Bye.